Well, hello and how are you? Hey friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, this here's Friday, TGFI. Thank God it's Friday, May the 20th, 2020. Actually, 29th. May the 29th, 2020. That's right. And we got a happy birthday shout out going out to Sylvia Barton Wills. So, without further ado, here is a birthday song for you. I said, hey, Sylvia. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So, happy birthday, I'ma say. You know, you're 1 more year older today. So, happy birthday to you, I say. I said, hey, Sylvia. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So, happy birthday, I'ma say. You know you're 1 more year older today, so happy birthday to you, I say. And many more. You cha 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 cha. Chitty cha. All right, hey, and I've got a Facebook poke friend out there named Amanda Sue Little. She's been playing poke tag with me all morning long, all afternoon yesterday, and all morning long today. And I want to congratulate her on completing her what is it called again? She learned me a new phrase the other day, and I forgot what it was called again. It's called a She's probably yelling at me in the background saying, "Hey, it's called a diss. It's called a diss." What is it called? Um, you're gonna put comments down below. I'll bet you do, Amanda. Anyway, it's called a study, not a group study, a study profile, profile study. Anyway, it's a new term that they use in business for you to go and you go to a corporation or a company and you learn the steps through which you might own or run or operate one of the companies of that nature. And she just graduated, yesterday or the day before. And wow, I am so proud of her, so happy. Graduation to you, Amanda. All right. Well, alrighty then. I'll be back over there to poke you later, okay? Alrighty then. Hey, you know what? We should do some weather forecasting, okay? Because today, it's going to be mostly sunny. That's right, mostly sunny today. Highs around 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies with lows around 53 degrees. Overnight, and winds are going to be north to northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then Saturday, let's see about Saturday. Mostly, what about Saturday? Yes, generally sunny despite a few afternoon clouds. Highs around 76 degrees Fahrenheit and winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy overnight with lows around 56 degrees Fahrenheit and winds north to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. All right, there we went back into the radio voice. Well, hey. You know, that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to get on the radio. This is a video. This is a visual radio show, except for the fact I ain't spinning records, which I wouldn't mind doing, but I don't have the technology to spin records or even the speaker power for y'all to hear them. So if I did, I'd be doing karaoke, and I know Craig doesn't want to hear no karaoke. So, that being said, intervals of clouds and sunshine on highs around 77 degrees for Sunday, May the 31st, with winds coming out of the east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies with lows around 60 degrees Fahrenheit and winds light and variable overnight. And then how about partly tomorrow? Mostly cloudy and a stray shower or a thunderstorm is quite possible on a Monday, June the 1st. Highs around 81 degrees Fahrenheit and winds are going to be south to southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Few clouds from time to time overnight, lows around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and winds are going to be south to southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And there you go. How about this? Generally Sunny skies for Tuesday, January the 2nd, despite a few afternoon clouds, while highs around 89 degrees Fahrenheit and winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies with lows around 70 degrees Fahrenheit and winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And there you have your 5-day forecast brought to you by Wallace Resale on Facebook. That's right, Wallace Resale on Facebook. Hey, again, I'm still looking for somebody to take care of me during the day. If you know anybody, I surely would appreciate it. It's looking like it's getting about time for me to start looking for a full-time caregiver again, also. But, how that goes, we'll be starting that up here shortly. Uh, I have my recurring one that keeps coming back and saving my hindside, has been here for 15 years, and so she's quite the soldier. I mean, she sticks with me. But anyway, I uh, it looks like I'm gonna have to start looking again here shortly. But anyway, right now it's 77 degrees outside, and I just might have to go out there. But you know how that goes. Anyway, a story time again, and story time is going to be brought to you today by First Choice. That's right, family first, family first, family first, family first, family first. Home health care. That's right. You can go to Family First Home Health Care at Family FAMLIY, family, however you spell it. Family First, one ST that is. Um, HHC.com on the web and fill out a virtual application right there. Tell them Shenandoah sent you, and well, hey, you might be working with me. I will also need some weekend help next week, Monday and Friday. Those 2 days are probably going to be coming up for me too, because well, my daytime caregiver is getting ready to go out of town, and so therefore, don't know. Alrighty then. Anyway, story time, and let's see. Here we go. Story time, and we're still on the Aladdin, or not Aladdin. We're still on the Arabian Nights, and we're still on the talking bird too. And so here we go. Uh-oh, we missed the last of that page. What did it say? Obligation. See, I didn't even finish. Gentlemen, replied the princess, if you have given any attention to my words, you might have observed that, and this is a repeating from yesterday just to catch us up. Okay. Gentlemen, she replied, gentlemen, the princess replied, if you have given any attention to my words, you might have observed that I had no other intention in what I have done than to recover my brothers. Therefore, if you have received any benefit, you owe me no obligation. Well, come on now. And I have no further share in your uh, compliment than your politeness towards me, for which I return you my thanks. In other respects, I regard each of you as quite as free as you were before your misfortunes, and I rejoice with you at the happiness which has occurred to you by my means. Let us, however, stay no longer in a place where we have nothing to detain us, but mount our horses and return to our respective homes. The princess took her horse, which stood in the place where she had left him before she mounted. Prince Bahman desired her to give him the cage to carry. Brother, replied the princess, The bird is my slave, and I will carry him myself. If you will take the pains to carry the branch of the singing tree, there is only the singing tree. There is only the cage while I get on horseback. And when she had mounted her horse, the Prince Bahman had given her the cage. She turned about and said to Prince Pervez, I leave the flagon of golden water to your care, and if it will not be too much trouble for you to carry it, the prince and Prince Pervez accordingly took charge of it with pleasure. Now, when Berhaman, Pervez, and all the gentlemen had mounted their horses, the princess awaited for some of them to lead the way, and the two princes paid the compliments to the gentlemen, and they again to the princess, who, finding that none of them would accept the honor, but that it was reserved for her, addressed herself to them and said, Gentlemen, I expect that some of you should lead the way. To which one who was nearest to her, in the name of the rest, replied, Madam, we are ignorant of the respects due to you, to your sex. Yet, after what you have done for us, there is no difference. We would not willingly pay you, notwithstanding your modesty. We interest you no longer to deprive us of the happiness of following you. Gentlemen, said the princess, I do not deserve the honor you do me, and accept it only because you desire it. And at the same time, she led the way, and the two princes and the gentlemen followed. The illustrations, the illustrious company called upon the dervish as they passed to thank him for his reception and welcome advice, which they had all found to be sincere. He was dead, however, whether of old age or because he was no longer necessary to show the way to obtaining the rarities, did not appear. The three rarities did not appear. They persuaded they pursued their route, but lessened in their number every day. The gentlemen who, as we said before, had come from different countries, after severely repeating their obligations to the princess and her brothers, took leave of them one after another as they approached the road by which they had come. As soon as the princess reached home, she placed the cage in the garden, and the bird no sooner began to warble than he, surrounded by by nightingales, chaffinches, larks, linnets, goldfinches, and every species of bird in the country. The branches of the singing tree was no sooner set in the midst of the parterre and a little distance from the house, than it took root and in a short time became a large tree, the leaves of which gave as harmonious a concert as those of the parent from which it was gathered. A large basin of beautiful marble was placed in the garden, and And when it was finished, the princess poured into it all the golden water from the flagon, which instantly increased and swelled too much. And then it soon swelled so much that it soon reached up to the edge of the basin, and afterward formed in the middle a fountain 20 feet high, which fell again into the basin perpetually without running over. The report of the wonders was presently spread abroad, and as the gates of the house and those of the garden were shut to nobody, a great number of people came to admire them. Some days after when the Prince Bahman and Privis had recovered from their fatigue of the journey, they resumed their former ways of living, and as their usual diversions was hunting, and they mounted their horses and went for the first time since their return not to their own demesnes, but 2 or 3 leagues from their house. What? Former way of living, and as their usual diversions was hunting, they mounted their horses and went for the first time since their return, not their own demesnes, but 2 or 3 leagues from their house. As they pursued their sport, the Emperor of Persia came in pursuit of game upon the same ground, when they perceived, by the number of horsemen in different places, that he would soon be up, and they resolved to discontinue their chase, and retire to avoid encountering him. But in the very road they took, they chanced to meet him in so narrow a way that they could not retreat without being seen. In their surprise, they had only time to alight and prostrate themselves before the emperor without lifting up their heads to look at him. The emperor, who saw they were as well mounted and dressed as if they had belonged to his court, had a curiosity to see their faces. He stopped and commanded them to rise. The princes rose up and stood the before him with an easy and graceful air, accompanied with modest countenance, countenance, with modest countenance. The emperor took some time to view them before he spoke, and after he had admired their good air and mien, and asked them who they were and where they lived. Sir, said the Prince Bahman, we are the sons of the late intendant of your Majesty's gardens, and live in a high house which thing wasn't going to let me move down, in a house which he built a little before he died, till we should be fit to serve your Majesty, and ask you some employ when opportunity offered. By what I perceive, replied the emperor, you love hunting. Sir, replied Prince Bahman, it is our common exercise, and what none of your Majesty's subjects who intend to bear arms in your armies ought, according to the ancient customs of the kingdom, to neglect. The emperor, charmed with so prudent an answer, said, since it is so, I should be glad to see you to see your expertness in the chase. Choose your own game. Well, the princes mounted their horses again and followed the emperor, but had not gone far before they saw many wild beasts together. Prince Bahman chose a lion and Prince Perviz a bear, and pursued them with so much intrepidity that the emperor was surprised. They came up with their game nearly at the same time, and darted their javelins with so much skill and address that they pierced the one the lion and the other the bear so effectively that the emperor saw them fall one after the other. Immediately afterward Prince Mohammed pursued another bear, and Prince Pervez another lion, and killed them in a short time, and would have beaten out 4 fresh game, but the emperor they approached but the emperor would not let them, and to sent them to come to him. When they approached, he said, "If I had given you leave, you would soon have destroyed all my game. But it is not that which I would preserve, but your persons, for I am so well assured your bravery may one time or another be serviceable to me, that form that from this moment your lives will be always dear to me." The emperor, in short, conceived so great a kindness for the 2 princes that he invited them immediately to make him a visit. To which Prince Bahman replied, "Your Majesty does do do us an honor and we do not deserve, and we beg you will excuse us." The emperor, who could not comprehend what reason the princes could have to refuse this token of his favor, pressed them to tell him why they excused themselves. "Sir," said Prince Bahman, "we have a sister, younger than ourselves, with whom we live in such perfect union that we undertake nothing before we consult her, nor she anything without asking our advice." "I commend your brotherly affections," answered the emperor. "Consult your sister, meet me tomorrow, and give me an answer." So the princes went home, but neglected to speak of their adventures in meeting the emperor and hunting with him, and also the honor he had done them. Yet did not the next morning fail to meet him at the place appointed. "Well," said the emperor, "have you spoken to your sister, and has she considered to the pleasure I expect of seeing you?" The 2 princes looked at each other and blushed. "Sir," said Prince Bahman, "we, we beg your Majesty to excuse us, for both my brother and I forgot." "Then remember today," replied the emperor, "and be sure to bring me an answer tomorrow." Shall we wait till tomorrow to find out whether or not they consult the princess? I do believe so. So till tomorrow we are going to leave the Arabian Nights, the Talking Bird. Okay, that being said, it looks like it's about time for our portion of the program called oh, our portion of the program called Our Daily Bread. And today's devotion for Our Daily Bread is called The Maker of the Moon. And I'll be reading in Jeremiah 31, 33 through 37. Okay? Alrighty then. Jeremiah 31, Or Jeremiah 31, yeah, 33 through 37. This is the covenant I will make with the people of Israel. After that time, declares the Lord, I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. No longer will they teach their neighbor or say to one another, know the Lord, because they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest, declares the Lord. For I will forgive their wickedness and will remember their sins no more. Yeah, this is what the Lord says. He who appoints the sun to shine by day, who decrees the moon and stars to shine by night, who stirs up the sea so that its waves roar, the Lord Almighty is his name. Only if the decrees vanish from my sight, declares the Lord, will Israel ever cease. Bring a nation before me. This is what the Lord says. Only if the heavens above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth below be searched out, will I reject all the descendants of Israel because of all they have done, declares the Lord. And there you have it, Jeremiah 31, 33 through 37. And friends, that was brought to you by the Shen Show. Yes, the Shen Show brought, actually, no, not brought to you by the Shen Show. We're watching the Shen Show. It was brought to you by the Bible with Briscoe. The Bible with Briscoe 2020 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Remember to tune in on YouTube or the Facebook pages. The Shen Show, the Bible with Briscoe, the uh, Shenandoah Briscoe, and Friends of the Shen Show. These pages will all be recognized for both the Shen Show and the Bible with Briscoe 2020. All right, that concludes our program for the day, which leaves me with one song for you, and that would be, well, goodbye, my friends, it's a time to go. Ba-do-do-do-do, goodbye, my friends, it's a time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends, goodbye. This here has been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning in to the Shen Show, and as always, you know, God loves you and so do I. So be blessed in Jesus' mighty name, and come back and see me tomorrow because, well, hey, I'll be here, and I hope that you are too.